What's up, my good people? We are here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is here with you with a live post-game show. I hope you're having yourselves a fantastic Syracuse victory Saturday. Having some fun here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I'm proud to be here with you inside of these beautiful, wonderful studios. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Of course, you are watching and listening to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here where sports truly meets life. You're here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as on Facebook Live on facebook.com/Live Now DT. So we appreciate you being here during our normal scheduled hours, and of course, we greatly appreciate you being here for our live pregame and postgame shows after and before and after every Syracuse Orange football game, whether it's home or away. We are here with you in your home for everything Syracuse related, and that is right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So we appreciate you being here, spending some time with us, and having some fun with us here today following Syracuse's big-time victory. They got the dub, and I know that fans are very excited and, happy to see this finally come through for Syracuse. So a big ups to Syracuse for getting the victory and making it happen in this game. So I do welcome you all in and thank you all for being here. And you could either watch right here on the feed that we have for the post game show, or you could watch it on the watch party as well. So Facebook doing some new things, and so I guess we're offering you a couple different ways to watch the show. So however you're watching, we thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So welcome into the show. Hope you're all having yourselves a terrific day here as Syracuse gets their victory, their first home win of the season, the first win of the season for Syracuse, the first win inside of the new look dome, a truly historic moment for Syracuse, and this is such a fantastic moment for this Orange football program, for Dino Babers, for all the players that are there, for the community. So shout out to everybody here, and a big time congratulations to Syracuse once again. What a big day for Syracuse inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, maandpazpopcorn.com, where you can go and type in DT20 from anywhere in the world. Type in DT20 at maandpazpopcorn.com and you'll get 20% off, so make sure that you do that on us here at Wake Up Call. We're going to be talking about Syracuse in this live post-game broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Like I said, big-time day for Syracuse. They were looking for their first win this season in 2020. The Dome, when the Dome started to be renovated at the end of the basketball season, there was no corona. There was no thought of there being really anything like this, right, when they started to work on the Dome. And then obviously Corona happened, which nobody could have prepared for, and it threw a monkey wrench into things, but Syracuse was able to continue the renovations on the Dome, and the question was there going to be a Syracuse football season? Was the Dome going to be ready? Were fans going to be there? Was the media going to be there? There were all these questions around the Syracuse football season, and I'm happy to say that we were there. We had the opportunity to be there. And although I know that you, the fans, weren't there and you missed it and you were upset and you were sad about it, we had the opportunity to, I got to be there, and at least someone got to be there to witness it. There's so many videos and pictures that I took, as well as, broadcasting videos inside and outside of the Dome. So make sure you go to Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT to watch the videos, to see the pictures, and so much more. A lot of great stuff going on there that I've been able to share with you by the grace of God and just by sheer blessing. So I cannot say, I don't even know how to express this moment today. I'm very excited. I was born and raised here in Syracuse, New York. Born and raised here in my city, and being able to, do what I love, to work for myself, to start Dan Tortora Broadcast Media a little over 8 years ago, to be broadcasting for almost 18 years now. You know, all of that, and to go through everything we went through this year to get to where we are right now, and to be able to have been in the Dome, to be credentialed to be there at any time, especially at this time, to be able to see this team, to be able to see the new Dome renovations, to be one of the first people to see it. And there was, I want to say there was like 20 or 30 of us media that were there today. So to, you know, have us be there in such a small number outside of Syracuse staff and outside of the Syracuse football team, and, you know, just people working at the university, there was maybe 30 of us, 40 of us tops. They got to be in the Dome for this first ever event inside of the Dome, the official opening of the new Dome, the official opening of the first event in the Dome, the official opening of Syracuse football playing in the new Dome. So almost 40 years from when the Dome opened back in December of 1980, exactly almost 40 years since then here in 2020, I got to be a part of history and to be a part of something that will never happen again, right? You know, we'll never have the Dome open again. I guess, you know, it opened once and then it opened for this renovation. And it's just, I mean, it's incredible. So, I mean, I don't have words. I don't, you know, I wanted all you fans to be there. I want you to get excited. It's the board, can't even call it a board in the center. The entertainment center that has like, it has like a screen and graphics inside of it. So it's like, it's a square, and then inside of it there's graphics, outside of it there's graphics all the way around, and then there's like sponsorship stuff there. The music from the center of this thing just booms throughout the entire place. It's incredible. You know, with the fans not being there, if you just closed your eyes, if you looked down, if you didn't look at the field for a second, didn't look at the seats for a second, had your eyes closed for a second, the amount of cheering and just the acoustics and everything they put into the Dome, it was incredible. It was insane. I hope that you, the fans, will be as loud as what I heard today. Because what I heard today, I want you to beat it. Jermaine said, like the Cowboys screen. Yeah, this one's really special, Jermaine, definitely. Colby said, who impressed you the most today from Syracuse? Who impressed me the most was Sean Tucker, the running back for Syracuse. He had 100 yards in the first half, 15 carries for 100 yards. He ended the game with over 100 yards in the game. And so I have I took a lot of substantial notes today. He had over 100 yards in the game, and just an incredible performance. Colby said, what stuck out to you as a difference from the first 2 weeks that powered Syracuse to victory? The offense showed up. Tommy DeVito made a couple big-time throws. That was a difference. You know, and they trusted in the running game. You know, so I would venture to say those things definitely helped Syracuse out. Thank you for the question, Colby. If you have questions or thoughts, please send them to me. I'm happy to answer them here. We got a lot of stuff to get into, so let's hop right into it. And like I said, I took a ton of notes. So first and foremost, at the beginning of the game, there was a delay. I had my my video ready to roll, and I'm looking at the video board and I'm looking toward the tunnel, and I'm like, they're gonna run out. I don't want to miss this. This is the first run out in the newly renovated Dome. This will never happen twice in all of history. So this is really, really cool. I want to get it on camera. And then they didn't come out. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and they didn't come out. So we ended up getting a notice from Syracuse University, and they have a more expansive statement that I share with everybody on social media. Once again, if you're not following us or liking the pages, please make sure you do so. You missed a lot today if you're not connected with me. So Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. Syracuse University Athletics statement regarding the delay of the game. It was supposed to start at noon. The game started at 12:36 p.m. instead. Syracuse put out this statement. Today's Syracuse University football game against Georgia Tech was briefly delayed to allow for additional COVID-19 testing. As part of Syracuse University's and the ACC's protocols, our student-athletes are tested multiple times throughout the week, including on the Friday before games. All of yesterday's tests came back negative. Out of an abundance of caution, we retested 3 members of our football program before kickoff of today's game. These tests came back negative as well. This protocol was administered in consultation with the Onondaga County Health Department. Our testing protocol worked as it should. This is exactly why we have implemented such a strict and robust testing program. Syracuse University and its ACC partners have established and continue to implement a comprehensive public health strategy to safeguard the health and safety of all of our student athletes, coaches, staff, and communities. So that coming from Syracuse University, letting you know exactly what went down. I do want to make note, too, as far as the jersey statements that players have made since week 1 with Syracuse. Taj Harris, number 3 wide receiver on the team, not number 3 wide receiver, number 3 as his number. He wore on the back of his jersey today, equality. Number 72 offensive lineman Mark Petrie, who is a reserve lineman, he also had equality on the back of his jersey. And number 15 true freshman quarterback Jacobian Morgan had Black Lives Matter on the back of his jersey today. Just to give you some notes on some stuff that happened. Now, beyond that, let's get into it here. So Syracuse won the toss and elected to receive today, which is a little bit interesting because normally you will not see a team elect to receive first. They'll elect to receive after half. Nykeem Johnson returned the punt for the kickoff from the goal line to the team's own 21. On Syracuse's first series of the game, there was a quick pass on the first play out to tight end Aaron Hackett. It was nice to see Aaron Hackett and Luke Benson catch passes today from Tommy DeVito. As you know, I believe that we have a very strong tandem at tight end, maybe one of the best tandems we've had in a while, and they haven't really gotten involved in the passing game in the first couple games. So it was good to see Aaron Hackett and Luke Benson catch a pass. The first pass caught in the game was by a tight end. It was by Aaron Hackett. Not too much happening on the first series, though. Jihad Jordan on the ground didn't really work, and they punted it away. Their first series for Georgia Tech, though, was also a 3-and-out forced by Syracuse. On Syracuse's second series of the game in the first quarter, first play was a run by Markenzie Pierre for -1 yard. On third down, DeVito went out right to Jihad Jordan Jr. He caught it, and they got a first down, got to the Georgia Tech 46. Sean Tucker would run right after that up the middle for 4 yards, and then Sean Tucker would break out for a 38-yard touchdown run. He ran it up the middle. He broke free into the open field. Looked like he got wrapped up. The defender grabbed him kind of around the waist. He spun on the defender, stayed up, no knees touched the ground. He kept going and off to the races into the end zone. 7-0 Syracuse at the 8:54 mark of the first quarter. That was Sean Tucker's 38-yard touchdown. It was also the first touchdown of his career, as he is a freshman running back standing at 5'10 at Syracuse. Georgia Tech's second series, Kingsley Jonathan would tip the ball off of a pass attempt by Jeff Sims, the quarterback of Georgia Tech. Josh Black would intercept it. So Syracuse would score on their second series, and the defense would get an interception on their second series against Georgia Tech. On Syracuse's third series of the game, we would see a Schmidt 47-yard field goal that would make it 10-0 Syracuse with 7:33 left to go in the first quarter, giving Syracuse their first 2 scores a minute and 21 seconds apart in the game. Georgia Tech's third series, Sims would do his thing at moving well downfield and through Syracuse territory, but Sims was pressured and Trill Williams intercepted the ball, and a 47-yard return to the Georgia Tech 37 is what happens for Trill Williams. So 2 interceptions by Syracuse in the first 3 series of Georgia Tech. On the second and third series, Syracuse getting interceptions. And then on the fourth series for Syracuse, they trusted in the run again. Sean Tucker got his second career touchdown and second of the day, both rushing. This one from 4 yards out off of the Trill Williams interception. We see Sean Tucker get a 4-yard touchdown with 1:22 left in the first quarter. Syracuse would end the first quarter up 17-0 after Georgia Tech in their fourth series would have a 3-and-out. From there, in the start of the second quarter, Syracuse's fifth series of the game, they had a 3-and-out that would follow, and so following a sack on Tommy DeVito. In Georgia Tech's fifth series of the game, Syracuse would force a 3-and-out. DB Garrett Williams would get to them in tight coverage, and he would prevent a pass on 3rd and 13, which was a huge play for the Syracuse Orange. On Syracuse's 6th series of the game, DeVito would underthrow Taj Harris, and it would be an interception by Zamari Walton on the other side for Georgia Tech. And I want to thank Rain as well as Coca-Cola, Body Armor, and Monster Energy for being a part of today's broadcast. As I'm after being there, getting there early, an hour early, so getting up at 9 o'clock this morning, doing the pregame show, then heading off to Syracuse, getting there by, I think it was like 11:01, going into the Dome, shooting the videos in and out of the Dome, then being there for the game, then the game being delayed, then finishing the game, and covering that all the way through for you, taking all these notes, getting ready for the postgame, interviewing Dino Babers, interviewing Trill Williams, and then doing a video after the game inside the Dome and coming home and doing the postgame. I think that list warrants me having a Rain, and if you see the one that I chose here with an orange victory, I chose the Orange Dreamsicle. So shout-outs to Rain for this. That being said, on the 6th series for Syracuse, DeVito underthrows Taj Harris. At the end of the game, Dino said that he thought that Taj should have made a play on this or at least batted it away. It looked like it was underthrown, and then it was a playable ball. It looked like it was behind Taj, like it didn't get to him quick enough. But then Taj and Zamari Walton could have made a play on it. Zamari did and got an interception in the second quarter. That was the only interception thrown by any Syracuse quarterback. Tommy DeVito and Rex had a little bit of time at the end. No more interceptions coming from there. Georgia Tech's 6th series, Syracuse intercepted the ball right back, but it was flagged for pass interference. So Syracuse had gotten the takeaway and brought it back to the team, but it was called off due to pass interference. Trill Williams Trill Williams laid a hit to negate a catch, but right after Jeff Sims would elude a sack try and he'd throw on the run to Jahmyr Gibbs, who I told you before the game was a catalyst. I said Sims and Gibbs were the two players to stop offensively, in my opinion, circling them more than anybody else, and Gibbs gets the touchdown and the first score for Georgia Tech, and he's tackled in the end zone by linebacker Terrell Richards, 17-6 after they missed the extra point. Well, they tried to go for a 2-point conversion, a little fake. It didn't work out. 17-6, Syracuse led with 9:37 left to go in the second quarter. Then Syracuse's 7th series of the first half, DeVito aired out to Taj Harris on the second play of the drive. The first was a 1-yard completion to Luke Benson, as I had mentioned before. Harris got to it, was able to. DeVito sent the ball, a beautiful, beautiful ball that hung in the air for a long time, sent it downfield. Taj was able to reach out, get under it for a 46-yard touchdown. He stumbled into the end zone as it took all of him to get to the ball, and he did. And then Mike Lockhart blocked the PAT afterwards. So Syracuse goes up 23-6 with 8:57 left in the second quarter. On Georgia Tech's 7th series of the game, they did 7 plays, 7 runs. A quarterback sneak by Jeff Sims gave them a touchdown. 23-13, Syracuse up with 5:10 left in the second quarter. Pass interference by Syracuse in the end zone helped Georgia Tech on this drive to get to the Syracuse 14-yard line after 46 yards by running back Dante Smith of Georgia Tech on back-to-back runs, 16 on the first, 30 on the second, 46 yards on 2 runs, and then Syracuse giving up that pass interference. 7 plays, 7 runs, Georgia Tech gets the score. And even though they're not a triple option team anymore, it was still interesting to see how much they relied on the run on that play. And then Syracuse's 8th series of the first half, 3rd and 20. DeVito saw nothing that he liked. He ended up taking off to run. He got 19 yards, very close, running out, very, very close to getting a first down. But on 4th and 1, Syracuse has a false start penalty, ended up keeping them from going for it, and they punted it away. Georgia Tech on their 8th series, 5 rushes and 1 incompletion. Georgia Tech punted the ball away after scoring on back-to-back drives. Georgia Tech had nothing in their first 5 drives. They threw interceptions on back-to-back drives on their second and third drive of the first half, and then they score on back-to-back after nothing on those first 5 drives, and then they don't get anything on the 8th drive of the game. Babers called a timeout with 1:22 left to go with Georgia Tech punting. Syracuse's 9th series of the first half, they ran it out. Sean Tucker took care of it ended the first half. Sean Tucker ended the first half with 15 carries for 100 yards, 6.7 yards a carry, and 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. This man had himself a fantastic day. First time Syracuse has had a 100-yard rusher in a long time, so big shout out to him for getting it done and making it happen. Absolutely incredible day for Sean Tucker, and very, very much appreciate him. Mrs. Jax, my 5th grade teacher from Our Lady of Pompeii, is saying hello. Hello to you from Florida. My second home. I need to get myself down to Florida, Mrs. Jax. Please take care of my second home for me. So big ups and a big shout out to Sean Tucker, freshman running back, 5'10", only 2 inches taller than me, comes into Syracuse, not number 1 on the depth chart, not number 2 on the depth chart, when Abdul Adams and Jarvion Howard were still on the depth chart. He was probably maybe 5th on the depth chart, Mr. Sean Tucker, and he ends up getting not only 100 yards in this game, but he gets 100 yards in the first half. 15 carries, 100 yards, almost 7 yards a carry at 6.7. Gets his first career touchdown and his second career touchdown, both in the first half of this game. So a career day multiplied over and over and over again by the gentleman Sean Tucker. Big shout out to him. Like I said, awesome that Syracuse trusted in the run in the first half. They had Sean Tucker run it. They had Jawar Jordan Jr. run it. They had Markenzie Pierre run it. They trusted in the run. They came out in their first couple series leaning on the run. They leaned on Sean Tucker in the first half. They had 3 different players run the ball in the first half. Sean Tucker got 100 yards for his first 100-yard game ever. And the first time Syracuse saw a 100-yard back in a long time. And not only that, Sean Tucker gets his first career touchdown, his second career touchdown, and had 100 yards by halftime on the dot. And he didn't lose any yards either, which was also another notable. Huge, huge day for him. And then in the start of the third quarter, Georgia Tech got the ball. And so let me see what we got here. Jerry said, great job today. Sean Tucker and the line looked better. Let's keep building. Absolutely, yeah. And shout out not only to Sean Tucker, but to the offensive line. Let's not leave them unnamed and unknown here. Big shout out to Syracuse's offensive line. Big shout out to left tackle Aaron Service, left guard Chris Elmore, who's played all over at tight ends, at fullback, played on the defensive side. Center Carlos Vettorello, right guard Darius Tisdale, as well as right tackle Matt Bergeron. Big shout out to the offensive line for aiding in protecting Tommy DeVito as better than they have all season in this third game, and not only protecting him, but helping to create holes that Sean Tucker found and took advantage of, and of course, helping to have a 100-yard rusher. So big shout out to Sean Tucker, as well as to the entire offensive line today. Fantastic job, gentlemen. And it doesn't matter what happened at North Carolina. It doesn't matter what happened at Pittsburgh. It's all about today, and you guys did a fantastic job today, so congrats to you. Georgia Tech, in their first series of the third quarter, they started things off. They were by the Syracuse red zone. Sims was pressured, and then the coverage was there. The ball went through one of the Syracuse defenders, but right behind him to clean it up, defensive back Rob Hanna got his first career interception at the Syracuse 20. Another freshman making it happen. First career interception. Syracuse in their first series tries a 53-yard field goal by Schmidt. Doesn't get there. Georgia Tech takes over at their own 35 with 9:40 left in the third quarter. Georgia Tech on their second series, they went from the Syracuse 47 to their own 38 on a 15-yard personal foul as well as a 10-yard holding penalty, so they lost a bunch of yards. But then Syracuse gave it back. And very unfortunate here that Syracuse gave it back to Georgia Tech. Think about it. Georgia Tech killing themselves in penalties on this second drive of the second half, going from the Syracuse 47 to their own 38, losing 25 yards, and then they lost another 5 yards for a false start, which sent them back to their own 40 on 2nd and 33. But Syracuse's defense allowed a 29-yard gain on a pass play to wide receiver Malachi Carter. He had a bunch of DBs around him, bunch of defenders around him. He caught the ball in traffic, somehow was able to hold on to it, spin around, stay up, setting up 3rd and 4. And then on 3rd and 4, Dante Smith got exactly 4 yards for a first down to the Syracuse 27. So from the Syracuse 47 that they were on to their own 38 to the Syracuse 27, but then linebacker Mikel Jones pressured, and Sims, after faking a handoff, it ends up forcing 4th down thanks to Mikel Jones, who had a terrific first 3 weeks of this season as a starter at linebacker. Syracuse blocks the field goal on this play. Absolutely incredible. Syracuse blocks the field goal. Georgia Tech, getting to the Syracuse 27, comes away with nothing on 12 plays, 5 minutes and 47 seconds, 56 yards, and no points. Another massive shutdown by the Syracuse defense. Syracuse, on their second series of the second half, 3 incompletions by DeVito, ends up forcing a 3 and out. And then Georgia Tech, on their third series, they go 3 rushes and 2 pass completions on the drive. The first rush was 27 yards by Dante Smith, who had himself a day, even though Jahmyr Gibbs was a focal point last week against UCF in a 28-point loss. He still did a lot of great things, returning the ball as well as being the lead receiver and the lead running back. Dante Smith had himself a day here as well, with Jahmyr Gibbs doing his thing. Dante Smith did his as well. Then after Smith lost some yards, here we saw Sims to wide receiver Amarion Brown for 40 yards, where the defensive back of Syracuse fell. Brown was open. And then another running back, Jamius Griffin, 3-yard touchdown run, made it 23-20 with 1:29 left in the third quarter. All of a sudden, it was a game. All of a sudden, we're looking at a potential Georgia Tech shift here, and Georgia Tech had the opportunity to take the lead in this matchup, but instead Syracuse would answer right back. Instead of a 3 and out, they had a 3 and in. I'm going to coin that phrase. Instead of a 3 and out, a 3 and in for Syracuse. Sean Tucker, 7-yard run. Then DeVito went to wide receiver Anthony Quealy for 15 yards to the Georgia Tech 43. And then DeVito aired it out to wide receiver Nykeem Johnson on a beautiful ball that was set perfectly with just a little bit of spacing, with 2 defenders chasing Nykeem Johnson, the wide receiver. Tommy DeVito placed a perfect ball right into the hands of Nykeem Johnson, who timed it perfectly. We know Syracuse's timing was way off in the first game at North Carolina. This game, the timing was right there. I thought the timing was pretty good, a little bit off, but Taj Harris was able to make up for it on the earlier touchdown. On this touchdown, couldn't have been a better placed ball with better timing, absolute perfection, getting it right there, 30-20 Syracuse leading with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. So they answered right back. So when Georgia Tech made it a field goal game, Syracuse put it back out to 10 points. Fantastic play by the Orange offense, and who really hadn't been making much of any plays here, and where they were able to get a big-time play there, which was extremely necessary. Then we go into the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech, on their fourth series, their first 2 plays at the end of the third quarter, and then they continue their fourth series into the fourth quarter. Sims goes to Gibbs, 2 yards, and Mikel Jones stops him, forcing 4th and 8 at the Georgia Tech 37, forcing a Georgia Tech punt. And then Syracuse goes 3 and out. Georgia Tech comes back. They go 3 and out on their 5th series. Syracuse on their 5th series go 3 and out. So they're trading it back and forth here. And then on Georgia Tech's 6th series of the second half, freshman defensive back Jihad Carter gets his first career interception, returns it 23 yards from the Syracuse 34 to the Georgia Tech 43. And then, as he's getting wrapped up and spinning around, and he could be going down here, he flips the ball to Trill Williams, who takes it 43 yards for a touchdown, coming around the left side and scoring for Syracuse. Absolutely insane. After the game, Trill Williams said Jihad Carter is his roommate. And after the game, Trill Williams said that him and Jihad were talking about it going into the game, and they were saying to each other, hey, if one of us gets an interception and we're about to go down, flip it. And they talked about it before the game. It happens in the game, and he said that he actually called out Jihad. So when Jihad Carter got this, Trill actually called him out, and he was like, Jihad, give me the ball. And he gives him the ball. He flips it on this very, very dicey play. It works out for Syracuse. You remember last season, the last game inside of the old dome was Trill Williams, when he went and he could have gone to wrap up the offensive player. could have gone over to him to take him down, and instead he went over to him and stripped the ball, spun him around, took the ball, and ran it to the end zone for a score. That was a very, very dangerous play that the coaching staff told him to never do again. Trill Williams, very dangerous play on this one with him and Jihad Carter. Jihad flips it to him. I don't think the staff should yell at Jihad at all. This was a smart play, and listen, it worked out. You know, if it went the other way, then we're talking about something. But up 30-20, Jihad Carter, freshman defensive back, gets his first career interception, number 11 out there in the field. 23-yard return from the Syracuse 34 to the Georgia Tech 43, flips it to Trill. Trill goes 43 yards for a score 37-20 with 8:10 left in the fourth quarter, and the score would end at 37-20 after a touchdown was called off by Mackenzie Pierre after they looked at it. They went for it again on 4th and 1. They didn't get it. Georgia Tech took over at their own 2, and Syracuse would eventually win this game. I do want to say that redshirt freshman quarterback Jordan Yates came in late in the game in relief of Jeff Sims, and he was sacked on 4th down, forcing a turnover on downs by senior defensive lineman Cody Roscoe. On the sack, forces a fumble that was recovered by redshirt freshman linebacker Steve Linton at the Georgia Tech 9. So at the end of the game, Cody Roscoe and Steve Linton, with the sack, forced fumble, and fumble recovery, Syracuse wins the game. They get their first win in the new dome in a new chapter in Syracuse's history. They get the win inside of the dome. They get their first win of the season. They get their first win in the ACC. They're now 1-2 on the season, 1-2 in the ACC, 1-0 in the newly renovated dome, 1-0 in this new history, almost 40 years to the date that the dome had opened. So a massively, massively amazing day for Syracuse, and I got to be there for it in a very, 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 very small group of us in the media that got to be there, all spaced out. I want to thank Syracuse for letting us in. I want to thank them for the opportunity. I want to thank them for everything that they did with their protocol and being doubly safe before the game. I want to thank them for all that they did, for all that they continue to do, for the opportunity, and, you know, for believing in somebody that was making history 8 years ago when I asked for a credential, and the internet and allowing people in with, you know, internet shows and whatnot wasn't really happening. A show that, a company that wasn't already self-existing that I had created. So creating a company, representing a company that wasn't established prior to, and then being a company that does our show on the internet. All of that, Syracuse made examples out of me when they gave me a credential. And now, almost a decade later, I was one of the few people allowed into the dome for this game. So it says a lot about hard work and believing in yourself. And it says a lot about, you know, when you feel like people are putting you at the bottom of the totem pole. And then today, we rose all the way to the top. But in my book, and with my God, I've always been on top. So thank you to God. Thank you to my family. Thank you to my friends. My voice needs a break. My voice is tired from today. And I cannot thank you enough for all that you brought, you know, here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I want to thank you so much for being a part of all of this. And, you know, I honestly am so grateful and so thankful for this moment. It's so special. It's so amazing. It's so incredible to be able to have this moment here with you and to be able to celebrate this moment on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You know, I'm happy that Syracuse was able to play their game. I'm happy that college football is back. I'm happy that the Big Ten is back. I'm happy that the Pac-12 is coming back as well. The SEC came back this weekend. The American Athletic has been playing the Big Ten and all that, like I mentioned, all that good stuff. The Big 12 has been doing their thing. So a big shout out to everybody. We thank you so much for being here. I cannot thank you enough for supporting my show, for supporting my company, for supporting all the businesses that support us here in the community of Central and Upstate New York. You are incredible people. You are absolutely wonderful. And with our pre- and post-game show before and after every Syracuse game, home or away this season in 2020, I implore you to spend some time with us, to hang out with us. Shout out to everybody that got an interception today. Jihad Carter, Trill Williams, Josh Black, Rob Hanna, Rob getting his first career interception, Jihad Carter getting his first career interception, Trill Williams doing an amazing thing, that flip play. And, you know, we end last season in the Dome of 2019 on a crazy play by Trill Williams. We start off a new era inside of the new Dome with a crazy play during the game by Trill Williams. Trill, you're awesome. Number 6, do your thing. And it makes sense that you're number 6 because you get that, you get the 6. You get those, you get that score. You get the touchdown. So, pick 6 and doing his thing. Awesome for Trill. Big shout out to him. I want to call him pick 6, but that was, an interception by Jihad Carter that he took back. So just a fantastic plays by Trill Williams. Your number 6 is very fitting because that's as many points as you get for scoring a touchdown, and you do that many times to the point where some people might think you're on offense, Trill, even though you're not. Shout out to McKinley Williams, a defensive lineman who was in on a jumbo package on one of the scores by Sean Tucker. So big shout out to him for that on the 4-yard touchdown. McKinley playing on the offensive side of the ball. So some trick stuff by Syracuse today. Big day for Sean Tucker, getting his first career touchdown and his second career touchdown. Like I said, Jihad Carter, first ever interception. Rob Hanna, first ever interception. Syracuse getting the first ever win in the new dome. The game actually happening in the new dome. Me being a part of history that from now until forever, I can say that I was one of less than 100 people in the dome for this first game. First event in the new dome, first football game in the new dome, first people that were non-SU personnel in the dome. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I've been trying to find the words all day, and maybe I'll find them at some point. But in the meantime, congratulations to Syracuse. Big shout out on your victory. Celebrate it. Coming into the game, Jeff Sims, I said he turned the ball over twice in both of his first 2 games. He had 1 touchdown, 2 picks at Florida State in a win, 1 touchdown, 2 picks in a loss at home against UCF. And he came into that. I said, what a great quarterback to play up against Syracuse with him throwing, multiple interceptions in the first 2 games that he had out there, and Syracuse being an interception machine when it comes to what they do on the field. Syracuse has had an interception, at least 1 interception in every single game this season of the 3 games that they played in. You face a quarterback that was averaging 2 interceptions per game, threw 4 in 2 games. You got him to throw 4 in 1 game to double his average. So I said Syracuse's defense had to attack somebody and do their thing, and if anybody's going to turn them over, I trust Syracuse's defense. They did exactly that. They took a quarterback at Jeff Sims that was throwing 2 interceptions a game to 1 touchdown and made him throw 4 to 1 touchdown in this game. Fantastic play by the team, and they did not allow Jeff Sims to be the leading rusher for Georgia Tech for the first time this season in 3 games. He had 8 carries for 41 yards, 5.1 yards a carry, and did have a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak from a yard out. Jahmyr Gibbs was able to get to 100 yards on the day, 18 carries for 105 yards, 5.8 yards a carry for Georgia Tech. But he was not the leading receiver on the team. He had 2 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown. The first score for Georgia Tech when the defender had fallen down, when Terrell Richards had tried to tackle him, but by that time Gibbs had already caught the pass in the end zone. Sean Tucker led all rushers in the game with 24 carries. Nobody else had more carries. 112 yards. Nobody else had more yards. 2 touchdowns rushing. Nobody else had 2 touchdowns rushing. He equaled out the entire Georgia Tech rushing touchdown output for the day. Nykeem Johnson led Syracuse with 4 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. Taj Harris, 3 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown in the game. Jawar Jordan Jr., Anthony Quealy, Aaron Hackett, Luke Benson, Sean Tucker, all caught passes as well for Syracuse. On the other side, Malachi Carter led the team with 4 catches and 47 yards. Amarion Brown had 1 catch for 40 yards. That helped to set up a touchdown for Georgia Tech. Jalen Camp had 3 catches on the day. Jahmyr, like I said, had 2. Adonicus Sanders had 2 catches. Marquez Ezard had 2 catches. And Jack Coco had a catch on the day. Georgia Tech had, obviously, the fumble by Jordan Yates that they lost. Syracuse did not fumble on offense in the game. And at the end of the day, Syracuse had 1 sack, and that came from Cody Roscoe toward the end of the game, like I had mentioned. Syracuse's offensive line only allowed 1 sack in this game after allowing 14 sacks in the first 2 weeks. Syracuse's offensive line gave up 7 sacks against North Carolina on the road, 7 sacks at Pittsburgh, and only 1 sack today. Huge improvement for them. So they end up blocking for Tommy DeVito, only give up 1 sack when they were giving up 7 a game. They have a 100-yard rusher when the ball wasn't going well on the ground for Syracuse in the first 2 games. So big shout out for the offensive line. Big shout out to Sean Tucker. Big shout out to Sean for a career day, for Rob Hanna for a career day, for Jihad Carter for a career day, Trill Williams doing his thing, and Syracuse's defense doubling up on the interceptions that they forced from Jeff Sims. So fantastic play all the way around by Syracuse, getting the job done. Yes, there's places to clean up. Yes, they could have scored. Yes, Andre Schmidt could have had that 53-yarder. But at the end of the day, Syracuse gets their first victory of the season, 37-20. They are undefeated in their newly renovated dome. I got to be a part of history. This will never happen again, that Syracuse will be able to open the dome like this. So to be a part of history and to be able to say that I was there, I'm honored, I'm privileged, I'm thankful to God, and I'm just very, this with everything that's gone on these last few months and not being on site on location for an event since, February? I can honestly tell you that I will always appreciate being out there. I will always be thankful for being out there. And I want to thank God. I want to thank Syracuse. I want to thank you, all of my listeners, all of my viewers, all of my readers, all my supporters, everybody that goes to WakeUpCallDT.com, everybody that's on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT, everyone that watches and listens Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on mixlr.com/WakeUpCallDT for internet radio, for internet video on Facebook.com/live. Now DT, everyone that goes to search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on your favorite podcasting site, MixLR, YouTube with videos and audio files, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, TuneIn, and on and on and on. Asking Alexa to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and to all of our fantastic Central and Upstate New York companies, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, where I have my Orange Dream, which is obviously a Syracuse City-centric thing. It's my sundae and shake. You can get the Orange Dream in sundae or shake form. It's like having an orange creamsicle sundae or drinking an orange creamsicle. Fantastic flavors and awesome stuff. And, of course, it's Orange for the City, the Wildcat Sports Pub, where we'll be having some awesome Syracuse football events this season. As always, Honda City of Liverpool, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Avicoli's, where you can get 10% off all online orders every day of the week by going to myavicoli's.com and typing in AVS10, that's AVS10 at checkout. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn, anywhere in the world, go to maandpaspopcorn.com. Whether you're picking it up in store or you're having it shipped to you, I can get you 20% off, and only through Wake Up Call can you get 20% off at Ma and Pa's. Go to maandpaspopcorn.com and type in DT20, that's DT20 at checkout, and get yourself 20% off on us. Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Trapper's Pizza Pub, the Millhouse Market, and our beverage eye of choice, of course, Body Armor, Reign, Monster Energy, and Coca-Cola. I got the Orange Dreamsicle for today's show. After all the work I've been doing for almost 12 hours straight, it was time to have a Reign here today. So, big shout out to them and to all of our beautiful companies. And, of course, you can get the Wake Up Call DT special drink at every location of Cafe Kubal, as well as for mobile pickup by just asking for the pumpkin spiced chai or the DT special. Either or will work. Pumpkin spiced chai, I get mine with almond milk. You can get yours however you'd like to get it at all locations for Cafe Kubal, including their newest location at 208 North Townsend Street, the Holly Green Cafe in Syracuse. And, of course, for mobile orders, you can order it on there as well, as I had said. So thank you so much for tuning in to this post-game show. Every Syracuse game, pre and post for Syracuse football in this 2020 season, we will have a pregame brought to you by Wake Up Call, a postgame brought to you by Wake Up Call. right here where sports meets life. And of course, after this video is done, you can get it at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook, at Call DT on Twitter, through YouTube as well, on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. I'm going to rest the pipes and get myself some dinner. You have a fantastic day. Shout out to you once again, Syracuse making history in the first game for Syracuse football. First event in the Dome since it's being renovated. Syracuse gets a victory. I get to be there in a select group of less than 100 people. In history, this will never, ever happen again. I can say that I was there when the Dome reopened, and that is thanks to God, hard work, dedication, determination, faith, prayers, and giving my all, and not caring about any of the outside noise, just loving myself from the inside out. And then, of course, a big thanks to Syracuse University, the athletic department, for believing in my company and everything that I do. This is history. My kids, my grandkids, from now until forever and ever and ever in a day, I could say that I was there when. And that list is this big. And so I'm so thankful for that, so grateful that I'm one of the very, very few people that was there for the first event in the new Dome, the first Syracuse football game in the new Dome, and the first Syracuse football win in the new Dome. Shout out to Dino and the crew, 37-20. Plenty coming up on this week of Wake Up Call. Have yourselves a fantastic day. God bless. No stress. Do your best. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.